that when a person sees within himself that things aren't going from his plan, if they were going well and then now they're off track, he should know that he possesses haughtiness. His ego's become inflated, right? It's very insidious. It's very slow acting, right? Just like yeast rises very, very slow, the bread rises very slow. You can't notice it unless you go back and you come back after a while. If you're just standing there watching it, you're not going to notice the bread rising. If you leave it there for an hour and you come back and whoa, what happened over here? That's amazing. And for us, it's the same thing. Every day we may not notice that we're getting a little bit more haughty, a little bit more egotistical. And as the acronym ego is EGO, easing God out. And that little by little we let Hashem Hey everybody, and welcome back to Live with the Times. Grateful to be here with you. My name is Maynard Breslow, and grateful for all of you as well. Today we are here continuing on Parsha's Beshalach. This is the Parsha's of Emunah. And we are here in the Parsha in the 5th Aliyah. So much about Emunah here in this whole week. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier in the week, that this is what we're going to be doing. And we keep finding things to talk about here on Emunah. And it's funny because, a lot of times you may hear people saying, oh, Emunah again. I remember, listening to, thank God I've been listening to Shalom Arush here for 15 years, something like this now, thank God. And it's changed my life. And a person can look and say, oh, Shalom Arush, yeah, I know Emunah and happiness and gratitude and Emunah, a lot of Emunah stuff. I like to change it up. I get bored with the same thing. And it's very interesting to hear these kind of things, right? Because Emunah, first and foremost, as we know, is something that we have to keep working on. It's like, Shalom Bais. It's like saying, yeah, my wife, I made her happy one time. Come on, how many times I got to make her happy? It's crazy. Or deal with it already. I made you happy, right? Or, the analogy we're using about somebody going to the gym, right? We use this, oh, come on. Cardio? You want me to do cardio again? I already did cardio, right? Or somebody, maybe you hire a personal trainer, somebody's going to help you with your weight. And what are they talking about? Portion control. They're talking about, counting your calories, loading your calories into the app or in some sort of thing that's going to calculate how many calories you've had already and making sure to stay within a certain range. And a person, right, what's one of the main frustrations with having like a personal trainer is this thing gets old very quickly. A lot of times people get this because they have a certain goal that's coming up. They say, okay, I got to lose so many amount of pounds. I got to fit into that dress or fit into that suit or fit into whatever by the wedding, by the this, by the that. And so they have the 12 weeks to 16 weeks to 6 months, the year. But as soon as that thing's over, forget about it. I'm done with it. I don't want to hear any more about counting calories. I don't want to hear any more about this stuff. And counting calories, yeah, I know about counting calories. Okay, and every day you got to count your calories again. You got to enter it in every day. You can't enter in next week's food today, which I'm jumping ahead. Because today's Parsha, today's Aliyah is about the man, the falling of the man. Right, the people once again complaining, what are we going to eat over here? Where's the food? We had food before. Now we don't got food, Moshe. And the people getting worked up once again. And so this week, there's a well-known segula from Rabbi Nachman Mendel Rimanov, that on the segula for Parnasa, to recite Parshas Haman on Tuesday, on Yom Shlishi of Parshas Beshalach. It's a well-known segula, right, to read this whole thing of Shemot, chapter 16, Perek 4 to 36. And so today and tomorrow's Parsha actually splits them up. And so the question is, why are they split up? Right? Like if we're supposed to read this once a year or even better every day, if there's a segula, why is it that it's broken up here in the Aliyahs? It shouldn't have been one big thing. Well, because they're giving different messages. Right? The first few lines are dealing with something, the second few lines are, and the second whole bunch is dealing with a whole other thing. Or expanding on something. And so we've covered many different aspects of Emunah already, and there's so much more to go into, right? The whole Arush has the Garden of Emunah, and there's so much to get into in there, right? I'm not even beginning to do justice here in a few classes about Emunah. To think that, we know about Emunah now, not even close, right? Gratitude, Garden of Gratitude, as we've covered a little bit yesterday. To go and every day to do this, right? But we see here in this, in today's Aliyah, right, that now the people are upset. People are upset. They need water. I mean, they need food. All right, so it says, "Ilonu kol adas b'nei Israel al Moshe ve'al Aaron b'midbar." They now went to their leaders, and they're grumbling against him. Vayomer alehem b'nei Israel, mi iten mutenu b'yad Hashem be'eretz Mitzrayim. If only we had died by the hands of Hashem in the land of Egypt already. Come on already. We sat at these pots and we ate our fill of bread. We had so much food. Now look at us. For you have brought us out of in the wilderness to starve congregation to death. All right, and the same thing, like we said. Okay, you have a complaint. You need something, that's fine, like we were saying yesterday. But there's ways of saying things and ways of saying things. But let's just say now, you're in a place in your life where you have been working on Emunah. You have been working on your weight, and you are keeping track of your numbers. You are working out. You are listening to the personal trainer. And you think you're doing a great job. You have now your routine. You're doing all the stuff. And you're losing weight, and things are going great. Baruch Hashem. What happens? Today's Aliyah tells us what happens when we somehow start slipping back into old habits. What do we do then? So we're talking about that. Before we get into that, everybody make sure you subscribe to the channel, share the video, like the video, and leave us a comment on things where you maybe have been seeing some success and then you saw some slips, falling into old habits, and how you got back into it. So today we're going to teach you on how to do that. By we, I mean Shalom, Arush, the commentaries. Right, so now you've seen some success. Just like the Israelites, just like Bnei Israel, they've now seen some success. They've seen that they're out of Mitzrayim. They now have some sort of freedom that they didn't have before. They still have a slave mentality. They're still struggling with a lot of stuff. And everything is still very annoying to them. But they've seen some success. They've seen that things that they're worried about have now come true. Right, things that they needed help with are now coming about. And but they see now, once again, there's something else to complain about. There's something else that comes up. What do you mean? We thought we had Emunah. We saw the things, we had Emunah already. Why is this happening? So in here it says that, of course, they brought the complaints to their Rebbe. Good. Now, it could have been a little bit nicer about it, or at least been like, listen, thank you, appreciate you. We already went over this. Thank you, appreciate you. But we need your help. Hashem, we need your help. All right, but over here it says, Uvoike ruitem et kevod Hashem, beshamoy etanotechem al Hashem, v'nachnu ma, ki talinu aleinu. In the morning you'll behold the presence of Hashem, the glory of Hashem, kevod Hashem, because Hashem has heard your complaints against Hashem. For what are we? You think you're grumbling against us? You're grumbling against Hashem. You think you're complaining against us? You're complaining against Hashem. And this comes to teach us two things. First and foremost, when we are complaining about somebody in our life, maybe, God forbid, our spouse, maybe our kids, maybe their kid's teacher, maybe somebody who's harmed us, maybe something, anything in the world whatsoever at all. One of the teachings of Emunah is there is no tribulation without transgression. That nobody can harm anybody unless Hashem makes it so. That if you are being bothered by somebody, if you're going through something, it's because Hashem has brought it to you, brought it to me, wants to bring it to our attention. Now why? Because we have done something that warrants it. And a lot of times, actually all the time, Hashem is actually being very merciful with us. And it should have been way worse once we start and actually get to the place of Shuvah. We're going to see, wow, actually, what I did was way worse. So a little inconvenience here and there, or when it comes louder, then we know that we did something really bad. So we should never feel as though somebody has harmed us, right? One of the things of Emunah is that Hashem does, and will do everything, and He does everything for a good reason. So we should know that, okay, here we are in a good reason. This is happening for a good reason. And we should know that it's not that person. It's not that thing. It's Hashem Yitbarach. It says that in the generation before Moshiach, that the generation of Moshiach has the face of a dog. And one interpretation is that a dog will throw up its food and eat it again. And we do the same thing, right? Where we do things that get us in trouble. How come a person who's having problems guarding their eyes, they keep going back and not guarding their eyes? Why come a person who's having problems with Shalom Bayit, they keep saying the things to their wife that they know they shouldn't be saying? Person who's having problems with their kids, keep teaching the same lessons or keep using the same tactics with their kids, doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results. All right, but also, a dog, right? If you have a dog and you hit a dog, I'm not condoning this, but if you hit a dog with a stick, the dog gets mad at the stick. Doesn't get mad at the person holding the stick. Right? I see sometimes the kid bumps into the fridge and the parent's like, bad fridge. It's a cute thing, right? The kid's like, oh, you know. But what are you really teaching the kid? Teaching the kid that the fridge hit the kid. The fridge has no fridge. You ran into the fridge, kid. Watch how we're going. Not sure if that's the way either, but point is that if you're teaching that the inanimate object or something that's has no control or anything is now after your kid, you're training the kid to be mad at the thing as opposed to looking and saying, Hashem brought this to me. This is Hashem. This is all an illusion. Hashem is hiding here. Hashem is here in this fake reality that we think is real, in this very physical world that we have a real responsibility, real accountability. But we have a task here to do, but it's just Hashem hiding. Hashem is playing games with us, looking like it's reality. It's not the car. It's not the registration. It's not anything. It's not the mechanic. It's not the fridge. It's Hashem. It's always Hashem. And this is the thing, right? The people are grumbling against Moshe and Aaron, and they're saying, what are we? Why are you complaining against me? You're complaining against Hashem. You're making it worse for yourself. So that's the first thing. The second thing is how do we recognize that we've now slipped into bad habits? Right? Like I said, we're losing weight. We're going to the gym. Now we step on the scale and we're like, uh-oh, what happened here? Everything was going good. And this is spiritually, right? Where it's less obvious. We don't have something physical to look at. We may go and we say, wait a minute. Everything was working out. I thought we had this thing covered. Now all of a sudden the problems are coming up again that we haven't had in months and months. What happened over here? Hashem, why are you doing this to us? What did I do over here? Right? Thank you, Hashem, that we have these teachings because we're not victims. We have responsibility, which means one of my mottos in life is I got good news and I got bad news. The bad news is I'm the problem. The good news is I'm the problem. I can fix it. I can help. With Hashem's help, we can do something about it. So what is the first indicator? Rabbi Nachman says this in L'Ktim Haran, part 282. Part 2, Torah 82. That when a person sees within himself that things aren't going from his plan, they were going well, and then now they're off track, he should know that he possesses haughtiness. His ego's become inflated, right? It's very insidious. It's very slow acting, right? Just like yeast rises very, very slow. The bread rises very slow. You can't notice it unless you go back and you come back after a while. If you're just standing there watching it, you're not going to notice the bread rising. If you leave it there for an hour and you come back like, whoa, what happened over here? That's amazing. And for us, it's the same thing. Every day we may not notice that we're getting a little bit more haughty, a little bit more egotistical. Right? As the acronym ego is EGO, easing God out. Right? That little by little we let Hashem sneak out. Or I should say we let the ego sneak in and we're pushing Hashem out little by little. That a person, that ego and Hashem cannot stand in the same room at the same time. We're taking Hashem and we're leaving him. We're pushing him out of our lives and we're wondering, where's my salvation? Well, the source of salvation, Hashem, we don't want anything to do with them, little by little. It's not one day we're just saying like, Hashem, listen, I don't want to do this stuff anymore. I don't want to keep track of the calories and all this stuff. It's I don't believe it anymore. I don't think it. No, we know that it's working. It's that, okay, I'm going to have one cookie before bed. I'm going to have one cookie before bed. Oh, I'm going to have a couple cookies before bed. Oh, and we don't log it. And we think it's just, late night, calories don't count. Something happens, we start thinking, oh, it's fine. It's okay. And at first we're getting away with it. We're still within the range of what is acceptable for us to not gain weight. But then we start adding, and we don't realize, and all of a sudden we're either have something that we're eating a bunch of that we're not logging, or we stop logging all completely. And we say, whoa, what happened? I was logging. Well, I thought in my head that I was just keeping my routine because I figured out that if I eat this and this and this, I'm fine. This is the same thing here with us spiritually. That we should know that we have let in a lot bit of haughtiness. That a person says, I will rule. I'm the one ruling now. I got it. Don't worry, Hashem. I don't need your help anymore. I got this now. This is a big mistake. That a person at this point, this is an indication that a person has to make shuvah. A person has to make shuvah and humble himself. And what does he have to do? What does this line say? It says, Hashem. So now we've diminished Hashem's kevod and we have augmented our kevod. And now we've had complaints. Right? But it says, Etulotechem al Hashem v'nachnu ma. V'nachnu ma. What are we? Who are we? What are we? That a person has to go back to the concept of ma. Ma is the name of Hashem. Right, as we say, Ma chazdeinu, Ma tzikuseinu, Ma yeshusenu, Ma kocheinu, Ma gevosenu, Ma no ma lefonecha Hashem Elokeinu v'chosenu. Hagavim can shake kevod lefonecha. The what are we? What's our righteousness? What's our chazdeinu, our charity, our goodness? What's our salvation? It's not what is it, it's Ma is. It's Ma. Ma is the name of Hashem. This is what's coming and saving us. It's Ma. So I have to return back to an aspect of Ma. Of what? Return back to Hashem. Return back to this place that Hashem is doing it, not me. Yes, I am doing the action. I'm showing up and logging the calories. I'm going to the gym. It's true. Hashem's giving me the power to do that. He's giving me the tools to do it. He's giving me the koach to do it. But I have to put in forth effort. I have to put in the yearning, the willingness, the action to go do that. But now I'm seeing results and I'm saying, wow, I'm so good. Look at this. I'm so good. I'm going to the gym all the time. I'm so good. I'm logging all this stuff. I'm the best. What do you mean? Yesterday we said that we can't have Emunah in Hashem if we don't have Emunah in ourselves. Yeah, Emunah in ourselves. We have to believe that we can do it. We have to believe that we are doing it. We believe that we have the strength to do it. Hashem gives us the strength to do it. But we're partners with Hashem. We're not the boss. He's the CEO and we're the COO. We're making sure that the operations are getting done. We're making sure that the things are getting done. We're doing as much as we can with the details, and he's taking care of the big parts. He's taking care of fulfillment. He's making sure that it's being processed, being done, and being delivered. We're putting in the order. We're doing the send-outs. We're doing the stuff, and Hashem is making sure it gets to where it needs to get. Same thing with sales, right? A person, what is going on? They're far away from their goals in business, and then they start getting some good deals going. Thank you, Hashem. And then all of a sudden they're like, man, I am so good. What do you mean? A few months ago you were just crying. Now all of a sudden you're so good. Which one is it? The swinging pendulum. As we say in recovery, right, that a lot of addicts, they're the biggest pieces of trash that the world ever revolved around. They think they're so bad, but they think the world revolves around them. And they go and swing from side to side. How about to have balance? How about to say, what am I? I'm here. Hashem does everything. Right, and what are we, ma? But then Chava is restored to the concept of Adam, ma, and becomes order. That is back in front. Kapecha, namely Yod. Whole another thing. But this is the first step in the man. This is the first step in receiving the blessing, the Shefa, Parnasa, is to be a ma. As we said in the story, right, that a person goes and they first start to make shuvah, and they go to the base Midrash, and they go to learn. It's a Hasidic kollel, and they're sitting there, and everybody's sitting there, and they're meditating. They're saying, "I'm nothing. I'm nothing. I'm nothing. I'm nothing. I'm nothing." And he's going. He goes, "Hey, you know what is I'm just new here, and how can I get is it orientation? Like, where do I go? Who do I talk to?" The person's not even paying attention. I'm nothing. I'm nothing. I'm nothing. Go to somebody else. So, like, what do you learn here? Listen, I'm new. I'd like to, get involved. And the person's not listening. I'm nothing. I'm nothing. I'm nothing. After all, he gets he gets the idea. He gets the gist. So he goes, "Okay, fine. I guess I'll join in." He goes, sits down, and starts saying, "I'm a nothing, I'm a nothing, I'm a nothing." One of the guys says, "Hey, pal, cool it. You got to be a something before you can be a nothing." Right? So we have to know that Hashem is running the world, and we have to do our part. And the more that we are achieving, the harder it is to have that Emunah. Right? It's easy to have Emunah when nothing's going well. It's harder to have Emunah when everything's going well. Because we start thinking we did it. So this is where we should be, that we want to have a lot. We want to have everything. But we also be in the place where we know that Hashem is doing everything. And then as soon as we start getting off track, as soon as we start seeing that we're not logging our calories anymore, we're not going to the gym, that we should know that really what's the essence. It's not the calories. It's not logging the calories. I can try it and, okay, tomorrow I'm going to start logging the calories. Tomorrow I'm going to start doing. That's not it. It's that I got haughty. First I got to deal with the haughtiness. Otherwise, I'm going to have problems logging the calories from here on out. Every day it's going to be a struggle. I'm not going to want to log the calories. It's going to be at the end of the day, I meant to do it. I didn't do it. Why didn't you do it? Because you think that you're the person. You think that you're the God. So first we deal with the main issue. The main issue is that we think we're God. Then all the second stuff is secondary. All the stuff then, somehow I'm getting all the laundry done. Somehow all the stuff is getting done that I need to get done. The to-do list is getting done. Because I don't think it's me getting the to-do list done. I have to do the to-do list. But it's not me. Hashem is God. I didn't get myself out of jail. I didn't get myself out of Mitzrayim. He had to open the door and I had to walk out the door. It's a team effort. And he's the one who holds the key. Hashem should bless us to be humble, to be a ma, to be in the essence of ma. And that ma chazdeinu, ma yeshuaseinu, ma kocheinu, that ma will come and give us salvation and strength to do the actions that we need to do. And in this way, we're going to see that our Emunah is going up and up and up and up and up. And anytime we're getting a little bit of wake-up call, we're fixing it correctly right away, taking care of our ego and getting back on track. And this we're going to see every single one of us is on track. And that all of us on track means Moshiach is here. Moshiach Tzidkenu is here. The third base of Mikdash is rebuilt. Just like that. Speedily a million in our days. Okay.